Hello and welcome to Minecraft Education. Peter is here. I'm excited to work with you today on this great new world from the Minecraft Education team. My name is Stephen Payne and I am a teacher with Standout Education. My role is to work with schools across Western Australia and help students and teachers use technology for learning. And today we're going to be using Minecraft Education to do just that. If you're watching live, feel free to ask questions in the Q&A section or to join in the chat. It'll be great just to hear where you're joining us from today. So feel free to just type into the chat where you're coming from. If you are watching a recording, feel free to pause and rewind at any time in case you missed something or you want to explore in a different direction. But we're going to have a lot of fun today exploring Peter is here. So I'm going to give you a bit of background to the world and then we're going to dive in and play together. So let's get started. Who recognizes this building? This is St. Peter's Basilica, and it's going to be the focus of today's lesson. The word basilica comes from the Greek term Basiliki stoa. I'm not great at pronouncing Greek, but we'll go with that. It means royal hall. Originally, it referred to large public buildings, but now it's more related to the church. So it took on a more specific meaning in Christian architecture, referring to a church building that had certain architectural features. And in the Roman Catholic Church, the title Basilica is given to certain churches because of their historical, spiritual, or architectural importance. And there are only 4 major basilicas in the world, and all of them are in Rome. The one we're going to be looking at today is St. Peter's Basilica. This is actually a World Heritage Site and one of the most visited places in the world. We are going to see and help the Sempitrini. These are the group of workers who are responsible for restoring and preserving the Vatican. We'll be using new technologies and tools to travel back in time to protect and restore both the art and architecture of the Basilica. So how does this relate to us, this ancient building in the Vatican City? Well, we get to see some really great architecture from architects like Michelangelo and Bernini. You may have heard of these people. And we'll be seeing how engineering and art really need to work together to create landmarks that we remember hundreds and thousands of years later. We get to see the stories, traditions and values of the societies that built these buildings and have restored and added to them throughout time. And we'll explore some paintings and some sculptures as we go through the world. So you've got paintings and sculptures by Michelangelo and other artists, and people come from right across the world to come and explore these. And not just Roman Catholics, but you've got people from all religions and no religion who come to St. Peter's Basilica to admire the art, the engineering and the history. So we get to understand what we're like as people and what we've been through over time. So it really helps with global citizenship that we'll be focusing on today. So we have a shared responsibility as humans to protect and restore traditional buildings throughout time, wherever they happen to be in the world. So what are we going to do? We are going to look at restoring and learn the importance of preserving and restoring history. So we'll talk about what those terms mean. We're going to interact with the Sempitrini to gain insight into the Basilica's art, architecture and cultural significance. And we're going to particularly focus on technology and learning about how preservation and restoration supports collaborative efforts. So these are the 2 main questions that we are going to focus on in today's lesson. How can we use technology to explore, protect and celebrate heritage sites? First one. And secondly, why is it important for people to work together to do this? So if you keep those two questions in mind, we'll have a really great learning experience today. There are some key words that we're going to come across throughout today. We've got culture. So these are the beliefs, values, traditions, and ways that we behave within a group of people. So you'll have a culture within your community, within your school, and other areas where you work. You'll have a cultural identity, perhaps in your state or your country. We're then going to look at history. So this is everything that's happened in the past. We're going to look at events, people, and what happened in the past affects how we live today. So culture and history. Also preservation. So this is protecting or maintaining something. So making sure that something doesn't fall down or doesn't rust. Those sorts of things are preserving or preservation. And then we've got restoration. So if something does go wrong, something does fall down, something does fall off, we can repair or rebuild something to bring it back to its original condition. So preservation and restoration often work hand in hand. And then cooperation, finally. This is the process of working or acting together towards a shared goal or desired outcome. So if we remember those 5 topics, culture, history, preservation, restoration, and cooperation, we'll see a lot of that as we go through today's activities. Okay, so now it is ready to play the game. And as it said there, there's plenty to explore, but there's plenty to repair as well. So you can either just go in and explore and take some photographs within the game and click on things and learn about the history. But you can also use the AI tools and the VR tools that are built in to help you actually restore some of the artifacts as well. So remember these 2 questions. How can we use technology to explore, protect and celebrate cultural heritage sites? And secondly, why is it important to work together in this effort? Well, here I am. I've logged on to Minecraft Education with my school ID, and I'm going to go over to New and Featured in the middle here. I'm looking for Peter is Here. If I don't see that world, I can just go to the search and just search for the word Peter, and it should be one of the results that comes up. I've got some information about the game, but I just want to go straight in and play it. Depending on how busy your internet is, it might take a little while to download. You get some interesting facts as it downloads. Here we go. I've learnt what NPC stands for. I can find new games in the library. Well, here I am. Move to start. Okay. I just wiggled my mouse, or I could just tap the screen if I'm on an iPad, and away we go. Wow, that is pretty good. Peter is Here. There are a lot of blocks. I wonder how long it took to build this one. Wow, I think there's going to be a lot to explore today. Okay, so we've got some people to help us through the game. Welcome to St. Peter's Basilica Restoration Centre. Please select keyboard, touch or controller. Well, I'm using a keyboard today, but if you're using a touch screen, click on that. Make sure you click the right one. There we go. You've selected keyboard and mouse. Just to confirm, yes. San Petrino. I will learn a bit about what that means a little bit later. Great. Let's begin. Peter is here. Click Start to begin. Buongiorno. On behalf of the San Petrini, I welcome you to the Fabbrica di San Pietro. This is our restoration centre. Here you will learn how we San Petrini keep up the splendour of the Basilica. To become a San Petrino, you must learn how we preserve St. Peter's Basilica. Okay. Here is your first tool, the Smart Compass. It will help you get around. Follow the arrow to your next destination. Okay, you'll notice also here there's a little button here. This is the immersive reader. So if you click on this, it will actually bring up the text and you can have it read out to you.
Here is your first tool, the Smart Compass.
If you want to hear one particular word, maybe how it's pronounced, you can click on it.
Destination. Destination.
There we go. I'm going to be reading most of this today, so you won't need it while I'm here, but in the future, just look for that immersive reader button. Here we go. Press W to move forward. I've also got control tips. I can press H and it will show me what all the buttons are. So that's really useful if I'm new to Minecraft. But I'm just going to follow these stars. Are they stars or diamonds? Okay. And you'll notice there's the cursor in the middle of the screen. That is the direction that I am facing and the direction I'll be walking. There we go. Aim and right click the NPC, non-playing character, to continue. The job of the San Petrini is to preserve the Basilica. For centuries, our skilled team have restored and preserved it. So San Petrini are the group of people that preserve the Basilica, and San Petrino is one individual. Okay. The way we preserve it has changed over time, but our goal is the same, to preserve the history and culture. Now you've joined us, I will give you tools and show you how to use them. Fantastic. This is the VR headset. AI in this headset can show you how things looked in the past. Use this to see how the statue looked in the past and repair it. Okay. The next tool is the AI block scanner. Aim at the highlighted block, press and hold left click to scan it. Okay. So I can see what things look like in the past. And where's the block? Oh, there it is. So hold the left button. Scanning a damaged block will create a replacement block. Use the new block and right click on the damaged block to repair it. Also, we're analysing what it used to be like, and then we're creating replacement blocks. Got it. So now I can right click and replace that, repair it. There we go. You've restored the statue. Next, use the AI block retriever to remove a block. Try it on the block you've just repaired. Press and hold the left click to remove it. Okay, so if I put something in the wrong place, I can hold down the left button and replace it. Brilliant. Select the block you want to replace it with and right click. Let's restore the statue. Okay, make sure I've got the right block selected. 3, 2, 1 in the bottom. Statue piece. Right click. I think I've learned how the tools work. Might need to go and practice them a bit more. There are some other tools that may help. You'll get a camera, a portfolio, and a book and quill. You can use these to take pictures, notes and document your work. Okay. You are ready. Being a San Petrino is hard work, but it's important. Before you set out to explore St. Peter's Basilica, I want to share a story with you, one that shows how important preservation and restoration of the Basilica is. Before 1940, researchers had not done a thorough study of the area below the Basilica. That would all change when Pope Pius XII ordered renovations to build a tomb for his predecessor, Pope Pius XI. During these excavations, a shrine called the Trophy of Gaius was found adjacent to a red plaster wall, marked with Greek graffiti. Could this hold a clue to the whereabouts of St. Peter's tomb? Interesting story, no? Now it is time to get started. For your first task, head to the obelisk in St. Peter's Square. Wow, 1940, that was about 85 years ago. And the tomb of St. Peter would be way over a thousand plus years ago, 2,000 years ago nearly. So I wonder why no one had thought to look there before now. Okay. We will move on to the obelisk in St. Peter's Square next. But let's have a quick look at what it looks like today. You will use fast travel to get to the obelisk. Select the smart compass from your hotbar. Right click to open the menu. Select fast travel and then Vatican obelisk. Okay. So I'm going to select my smart compass. I'm going to right click and I've got fast travel and set waypoint. We'll look at set waypoint later, but now we're going to look at fast travel. So we can get to the Vatican obelisk. The rest are in red, so we don't have access to those yet. But we can find our way to the Vatican obelisk. Wow. I think it looks pretty similar in real life. I'm just going to go back a bit and I'm going to take a photo. So I'm going to grab my camera and take a photo. Oh, I just missed the top there. Let's go back a bit more. Brilliant. But look around at this. Oh, there's the famous pigeons of Vatican City. Fantastic. Okay. I know from playing lots of Minecraft activities that when you write information. So you are the new assistant to the San Petrini. Let me welcome you to Vatican. Vatican Obelisk welcomes pilgrims and tourists from all over the world. This will be your first restoration time. Okay. Today we're going to head up the scaffolding and perform some restorations work on the obelisk. You will need all of your new tools. So when you're ready, meet me on the top. Ciao. Okay. Great views from up here. There's the supervisor. I missed what she said. I think she wanted us to take some notes. So let's have a quick look at that. So if I get my book and quill, I can bring in any of the photos I've already taken and I can write about them here. If I can spell. I'll just put a title there for now and I can add more pages when I need to. So I've made some notes. I don't need to sign yet because once you sign a book, you can't go back and edit it. So we'll do that once we've made all of our notes. So let's go back to the supervisor. And we can start our restoration by using our VR headset to show you how this area possibly looked in 75 AD. You may call it 75 CE. But let's have a look at that. Yes. So I'm going to put my headset on. Isn't this technology amazing? The VR headset has transformed what we see here to how in 75 AD. It even makes my clothing look historically accurate. But in chat, let's get to work. I see you have brought your AI block scanner. Scan the blocks to learn more about them and make new versions of them. Talk to me when you are finished. Okay. Well, let's just have a quick look around. You can see that the whole landscape has been transformed to what it looked like nearly 2,000 years ago. Oh, and her clothes as well. Fantastic. So we can go and scan these blocks. Remember, it's left click and hold it down. The obelisk is made of granite, but over the centuries, stone's red luster has dulled to a pale brown. Okay, so I'm actually going to take a photo of that. Always good to take historical photos as well. Amazing that we can do this now with technology. So now I can go to my book and quill, and I can add that photo over here. Scroll down, there it is. The blocks are made of red granite. So you can make some notes about what you've learnt. And let's go and learn some more. Ancient inscriptions on the obelisk dedicate it to the Roman Emperor Augustus, while the base describes its rededication in 1586. Well, let's see if I can remember that. I can put that here, can't I? The Vatican was originally dedicated to Emperor Augustus in 1586. It was rededicated in... No, it was rededicated in 1856. I don't think it's ever originally dedicated. I can go back and check that if I want, but I'll leave that for now. You can obviously check that yourself. There we go. So let's find out what else we've got here. So I'll choose the block scanner. And unlike other Egyptian obelisks, this one has no hieroglyphics. It is believed to have originated from the city of Heliopolis on the Nile River. Cool. We've got some big words today. Okay, so we've got that. And what have we got here? The red granite is very hard stone. Perhaps this is why it is the only ancient obelisk in Rome to have never fallen. Okay, cool. Let's see if I can put some of that into my notes. The blocks came from Heliopolis in Egypt. Remember my full stops. The granite is very hard. Probably why the obelisk is still standing. Brilliant. Okay. Are you finished scanning? If so, take off the VR headset and move on the final stage of restoration. You can always return later if you find that you've missed something. Okay, I finished scanning. What have we got now? Ah, complimenti. We have analysed the data from the blocks you scanned and have been able to create a replica we can use to repair the damaged areas. You must select the correct block for each unique area and left click to where you want to make the repair. If you make a mistake, remember to use the AI block retriever to remove the block. Okay, so we've been given some blocks there, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and you'll see in the bottom right hand corner the blocks are changing as I select different blocks. So I've got to somehow make the right pattern. So I think we've got a corner on one. We can just see the corner, so that should be there. Let's try that. Right click. Yes. The next one along, I think, goes there. The next one, oh, I think I'm doing right. You can see it's kind of making a rectangle there. And then the final one will need to be a bit closer. There we go. Oh, my camera's gone. I wanted to get a photo of that. Never mind. What I might do now is just look, because you don't keep your book the activity. So if you do keep your book, make sure you sign it, give it a title. It should pick up your name, and then you sign and close it. So now I can read this. I can't edit it anymore. It's also a good idea to export it. That will just export it onto your desktop or to your file store on your tab. Brilliant. Okay, I think we've done what we need to here. Let's see how we did. Are you finished restoring this site? If so, you can leave now. If you are not done, you can stay and finish, or we can start over from the beginning. Let me know what you want to do. So we can continue, we can start again, or we can ask her to check our work. Grazie mille. Thank you for your help with the restoration. There are still some more restoration points, Basilica. Don't forget you use your fast travel device to get to them more quickly. I'm just going to pause out the game for a moment and just remind you about using the smart compass. So if you're ready to travel somewhere, just select the smart compass and right click on it. You can then choose either fast travel or set waypoint. We'll look at fast travel, so you can just choose where you want to go to with the fast travel button. Just select it and you'll go straight there. So we have just looked at the obelisk. So we talked to the supervisor, we made notes about it, we used the VR tools and the AI tools to restore the blocks back to what they were in the past. So the other areas that you can explore are St. Peter's tomb. So this was the final resting place for St. Peter. You've got the baldachin, which is the roof above the main altar that you can explore and restore. And then you've got the column in the main nave. So those are the 4 places where you can go and actually explore and restore. But there's more. As well as being able to restore those activities, there are also what are called collectibles. So in each of 10 areas, there are collectibles to find. So you can find these golden keys, and then once you've done that, you unlock a special area of the Vatican Basilica. So whenever you see a golden key, just walk over it and you'll pick it up. And you can keep track of how many you've got by just bringing up the smart compass, and it will show you which of the areas you've selected, and they'll have a golden key next to them if you've picked up the golden key. So we've got the obelisk, St. Peter's tomb, the baldachin, and the column in the main nave. So anywhere where you can do restoration work, you can also pick up keys. But you've also got the chair of St. Peter. I've just put these here as little clues for you to go and find. So you've got the chair of St. Peter, you've got the holy door, the choir chapel, the Blessed Sacrament Chapel, the Vatican Grottos, and the Vatican Necropolis. So there's 10 sets of keys to find, and when you find all 10, it opens up a new area for you to explore. So good luck and have fun. I'm going to go off now and see if I can find all 10. See you soon. So I noticed there's some keys. This is really useful and important and fun. So I collected 1 out of 10 keys. When I've collected all 10, the special area I can get to around the Basilica. Notice on the right hand side here, I have restored the obelisk, but I've still got the baldachin, the column and the tomb to restore. I won't get through all of those with you today, but it's great that you can keep a tab of what you've done on the hand side. So now when I right click on using the smart compass, I can follow to any one of the other places here. Amazing. So I've got the Vatican obelisk, has got the key there. And we are going to have a look at some of the other areas now. And we've got 10 sets of keys to collect. I'll start with St. Peter's tomb, as it's the next one in the list. And I'm just going to do a bit of exploring. This is the historic tomb of St. Peter. It holds great significance for us and is a landmark of great cultural and historical value. As time and the elements take their toll on all worldly things, it is up to the Sempitrini to preserve. Talk to the supervisor to get started. Okay, well, I am not today going to do any restoration. I'm going to come back and do that later. I'm going to see if I can collect as many keys as I can. I've got 2 out of 10. So I'm going to come back and do the restoration later. But I'm now going to fast travel to St. Peter's Baldachin. Wow. I'm going to take a photo of that. What a ceiling. Love it. Okay, so I can learn about all these features as well. Not just about collecting the keys. Interact to learn more. So I can right click and find out. The Baldacchino is as tall as a 6-story building. Legend claims part of the metal came from the ancient Roman Pantheon. These carved on it came from Pope Urban VIII's family crest. Despite its enormous weight, Bernini used spiral pillars to make it seem like it's swirling upward, a perfect example of a Baroque style grand illusion. Have another look at that. Wow. I think this has just been restored recently. I watched a video about it, so definitely go and check that out if you're interested. Okay. What I'm also going to do is just talk now about the waypoints. So you can travel to get to any of the items. I've got 3 so far. But I can also set a waypoint. So maybe I'm going to do the pillar in the main nave next. So by clicking on that, we can now use our compass. So you'll see as I turn around, my compass is pointing in different directions, and as soon as it's in a straight line, that is heading in the direction that I want to go to. So I'm going to go to the column in the nave. So as long as I try and keep that red line straight, it should take me straight there. Oh, I want to go and explore everything. Look at these interesting statues. I've got plenty of time to do that, but I'm going to just see if I can find the column in the nave first of all. Is it over here? Aha! Let's right click here. Ah, this is something else. This is a St. Peter Nolasco, founder statue by Paolo Campi. Not what I was looking for, but I might come back and explore that later. Let's see if I can go round here. Aha! Not sure that's it either. Always things to explore. This is the monument to Pius the Eighth. Oh, brilliant. Okay. Am I heading in the right direction? I think so. Maybe I've got to go through here. Oh! The Miracle of St. Gregory the Great. Again, awesome, but not what I'm looking for. I've just been there. Yeah, I need some practice in using the waypoints, so I'm going to take the shortcut. Fast travel, pillar in the main nave. Oh, I just missed it. There we go. Okay, I've got 4 out of the 10 blocks. I've heard you've been doing a great restoring the Basilica. You know, I really could use your help here. The pillar needs to be repaired. Don't worry, it is still structurally sound, but it's become damaged and worn over the years. Will you help? Okay, I'm going to come back and do that later. I'm after the keys first of all, and then I'll come and do the restoration. I like exploring. St. Peter's chair. Wow. That is some chair. Oh, I didn't mean to take a photo. Oh, that's just a tourist. Wow, this place is even bigger than I expected. I've never seen anything like it. There we go. We can interact here and find out. The tribune altar of the chair of St. Peter. This bronze seat houses an older wooden chair inside, which many say belonged to St. Peter. Okay. Wow. I'm a right tourist here, taking lots of photos as I go. Let's go away to the holy door. Vatican's Sacred Jubilee entrance. The door is sealed off most of the time, only opening for a Jubilee year. During that time, millions of pilgrims will pass through it. After the Jubilee, it is carefully closed up again, using mortar or bricks to seal it until the next Jubilee year. Okay, I'll do a couple more fast travels, and then I'm going to try using the waypoints again. Wish me luck. How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's find our way to the choir chapel. I haven't been here before. Some great artwork. Virgin Immaculate by Pietro Bianchi, 1740. Mary is shown high above in the heavens, a halo of stars around her head. Yeah, that's a great picture. Okay. One more fast travel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more to go. Another chapel. Here we go. And another great painting. Oh, I've got 8 out of 10. Let's see. I'm now going to try the waypoint. And I'm going to find my way to the Vatican grottos. Let's focus. Okay, I'm going to come out of here. This looks like the way. What's this? Nope. I've been there already. Grottos. That kind of sounds like it's underground. Let's find out. So much to explore. Oh, my compass is all over the place. Aha! Entrance to the grottos. That's what I'm talking about. Saint Longinus statue by Gian Lorenzo Bernini. Okay, let's go and find the grottos. This looks cool. As expected, we're deep underground. Aha! I've got 9 out of 10 keys. We are in the Vatican's grottos. You'll find the remnants of St. Peter's first church, built by Emperor Constantine in about 1700 years ago. Walking through here is like stepping into a hidden time capsule. Historians have identified old markings and symbols on these walls that helped early Christian groups recognize each other. Great. Exit. This way. Where am I heading next? One more place to visit. And that is the necropolis. Aha. Ah. We're downstairs again. Okay, so let's go and see what the final place is. We've got all 10 sets of keys. The restoration room, I think, is where we started, so the balcony must be the new place. Let's go and explore. We are going to the Basilica's balcony. Aha. We have a Swiss guard here. I'm sorry, this is a restricted area. You need to find at least 10 keys to enter here. I think we've done that. You have enough keys to enter. Impressive. Now I can take a break. So he would have stopped us entering until we had all 10 keys. Wow. I think we're going to get a good view from this balcony. Hello. You must have worked hard to have found me up here. Your work here will be praised for years to come. Once you completed all the restorations, you can return to each restoration point and speak with the supervisors again to explore each location in history and see these incredible monuments as they existed in the past. Go forth, San Pietrino. So, okay, I found 10 keys, but as you can see on the right, we've only restored the obelisk so far. But I'm just going to do a nice exploration from the balcony. You can definitely see a lot more from. Once you have completed all the restorations, you can escape them, click I'm finished, and then you can download your own certificate. Okay, I'm just having a quick look at the time. I think I've got time to do one more restoration. Let's see. Okay, I'm not finished yet. Let's look at St. Peter's tomb. This is the historic tomb of St. Peter. It holds great significance for us and is a landmark of great cultural and historical value. As time and the elements take their toll on all worldly things, it is up to the Sampitrini to preserve. Talk to the supervisor to get started. Okay. You have arrived. I hope it wasn't too hard to find. This place can seem like a maze. That is for sure. This is the tomb of St. Peter, the first pope. It's a very important place, not only to us here, but to people throughout the world. We must be sure to continue its preservation. You will need all of your tools. Let's go. Oh, it doesn't... Yeah, it does look a little bit broken. The first thing I want you to do is document the tomb in its current state. You can take pictures and notes to help you remember which areas are in need of repair. When you are finished, return to me for your next task. Okay. So I'll... the top looks like it needs some work. The sides... Let's go around this side. Oh! Don't want a close-up of the supervisor. There we go. Okay. You're finished with your notes? Well, hopefully you've got better notes than I have. I haven't actually taken mine. We can start the restoration by using our VR headset to project a virtual version of how this area possibly looked in 400 AD. Are you ready? Yeah, this is what I'm ready for. Here we go. Using the VR headset, we can see how this area looked in 400 AD. Let's begin. I see you have brought your AI block scanner. Scan the blocks to learn more about them and make new versions of them. Talk to me when you are finished. Okay. I'm going to take some photos. So that looks much neater. I like how all their clothes change as well. And in fact, the whole building has gone back in time. Okay, task in hand. Let's get our AI block scanner and see what's going on. The builders use simple bricks and plaster to create the small marker. Okay. After the Edict of Milan, Emperor Constantine began to build St. Peter's Church, excavating the necropolis and filling it with soil. St. Peter's tomb, however, was spared and remained undiscovered until the 1940s. That is pretty cool. So we've got different parts that make this structure. This structure was built in the 2nd century AD, long before the Basilica was even planned. 3 more blocks down the side. There are still a lot of questions about this structure. Even though it's been studied for years, there are still many secrets to uncover. The central one. Right below this plate, the remains of St. Peter were found. This is why the Basilica was built here, to honour the first Pope of the Catholic Church. And then the bit in the middle. The Trophy of Gaius, or the Trophy of Gaius, was used to mark the place where St. Peter was buried some 100 years after his death. Okay, so we've scanned all the blocks. Let's see what the supervisor has for us now. Are you finished scanning? Yes, take off the headset and move on to the final stage of restoration. You can always return later if you find you've missed something. Yep, that's always good. Actually, I might just take a photo of what it looks like. so that I've got that. There we go. Always handy to do that. I'm done. Complimenti. We have analysed the data from the blocks you scanned and have been able to create replicas we can use to repair the damaged areas. You must select the correct block for each unique area and left click to where you want to make the repair. If you make a mistake, remember to use the AI block retriever to remove the block. Okay. So we can see down here, we've got lots of different parts. So I think at the top is going to be the one with the arch. Yes. On the side. Yeah, I'm not sure which one that is. Let's do the bottom ones first. That's down there. Okay. Then on the top we've got number 9. And then we've just got the bits at the side. So it's either, I think it's 7 goes there. And then, I think have I done it first time? That would be pretty good if I have. That looks pretty good. Let me go to my portfolio and check. That looks good to me. Yeah, let's see how we go. Are you finished restoring? Check my work. Awesome! It looks exactly like it did in the past. Great work. The remains in the casket were thought to be not of historical importance. So they were boxed up and stored and forgotten. Later in the 1950s, a scholar named Margherita Gorducci researched the excavation. She was able to read the graffiti on the red wall where the casket was discovered. It said in Greek, Petros eni, Peter is here. Wow. One more photo. Okay, and you can see on the right there, I've now done the obelisk and the tomb. I think that's all I've got time for today. I will leave the baldachin and the column for you to explore. Congratulations! You have collected your certificate and we are nearing the end of today's lesson. I've got a few questions here that I think are worth considering as a class. I won't go through all of these now, but I think the 2 most important ones that we've focused on throughout today are how can we use technology to protect structures and artifacts so that people around the world can see them, and why is it important for us to work together to preserve cultural heritage sites. So I think they're the 2 important things to think about today. So I hope you've enjoyed today's lesson. Keep exploring in Minecraft, keep repairing, and hopefully see you again in the future. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.